About to get started on this stock bottom end K24 with K20 head. It's got some springs retainers, and we don't really know what cams are in it. 50-50 split. That might be stock, might be something aftermarket. So we'll see how that goes. Assuming everything goes well, we're actually going to try and run it at first on 93 octane, and then switch over to some race gas and see if there's anything to be gained there. The goal is to try and get this thing to iRev this weekend. It's really hot, so I'm sure we'll lose some power due to that. But basically everything was finished up last night about 2 o'clock in the morning, so hopefully there's no surprises based off of that. But this is probably like the 40th car I've tuned for these guys, so we're both familiar with each other and how everything's going to work. So enough running my stupid hole, let's get started. So far it's doing some really weird stuff, so we're going to change plugs and swap the widebands to make sure that wasn't just being goofy. But kind of a little shocked or a little unsure of why it's being so sensitive right now.
The thing is, I don't know if that's going to ground it right there.
Can you pull that black thing off? Put it underneath that? Well, that's not going to seal anymore either.
Yeah.
Will it reach over here to this ground?
Probably.
Yeah, we should be able to make that work. Oh, you can go over here, this bolt.
Okay. Oh yeah, that works.
I feel like the likelihood of that changing anything is slim, but I've seen weirder. Alright, kind of as expected, moving the ground wire, new plugs, new wideband, nothing took care of anything. Sometimes you just have to do stuff knowing it's not going to work, just to eliminate putting your foot in your mouth later. So found that the battery voltage was doing some goofy stuff. So moved a few things around, and it seems like we're got a functioning car again. But basically I was seeing an air fuel of 10.9, 10.5, and would change the fueling by like 1%, and then it would go to 20 to 1, and there was no in the middle. And then there's some cam angle stuff going on, but all in all, got it all sorted out and finally ready to start doing some full throttle stuff.
Because when I talked to you, I was like, man, we'll just slap this fucking head on. I didn't even think about moving the fuse box, anything like that.
Welcome to my life. People think everything takes 10 minutes, and then when they get their bill, they want to fist fight me. But then when they do it themselves, they're like, oh shit, you didn't charge me enough money.
Yeah.
Wait till you gotta cut the hole in the hood, that's the worst part.
That's exactly what we were talking about. I didn't feel like cutting it last night. I was like, dude, it's 3 o'clock, I gotta wake up at 5:20 in the morning.
Yeah.
I said, fuck that.
Probably been better off just not going to sleep at that point.
Exactly, but somehow I made it. So.
That's because you're not 30 yet.
Exactly.
Once you hit 30, you can't do that shit anymore.
Trust me, if I keep running like I am, I'm gonna be 30 at fucking 22.
Alright, making some progress. On this dyno, that number's about where I would expect it to be. We still have a little bit of timing to go and some different cam angles to go, and then try some different fuel. I'm not sure what to expect with the fuel with such a minimal setup, but we'll know shortly. is we pretty much burned all the gas out of it.
That's good.
We're at the point now where the cam angle doesn't want to do anything else. So gonna tinker around with some timing and then swap over fuels. That's about what I would expect it to make with the race gas. So we'll swap fuels and see if it picks up anything else. It's running great though. It's pretty low. There shouldn't be much in there, but it never fails like to surprise you.
I know. I think it's a 17.
If you needed that much fuel to get you home, it would spit and sputter. But when you need to drain that much fuel, somehow it's 9 gallons.
You weren't kidding when you said there's fucking there's a lot more comes out than you think.
Yeah, even still, like this had fuel in it.
Okay.
I would probably like shit, not that much, like maybe 1.5 gallons came out.
Okay.
So I've actually never used this fuel before, so it'll be interesting to see what it does.
It smells good. I love it.
Yeah, whole car gonna smell like it.
No changes with anything other than just the fuel, and power is basically the same. Just letting it run for a couple minutes is probably where the difference in the couple horsepower went, but now we'll try some timing and some different air fuel ratios and see if it'll do something. So the storage of the fuel is different, so I had to make some changes to maintain the same air fuel. But you can see here I've gone leaner, about the same, and then richer, and the fuel just doesn't seem to give a shit. So power is about the same. So probably go back to the original target air fuel and try some timing, but don't have the highest hopes. Started to pick up some power in the mid-range, and then the air fuel started kind of tapering up. So gonna leave the timing the same. That was 2 more degrees, and try and get the fuel back to where I had it and see if we can find at least a couple horsepower. So this just wants to make the same power every run. So probably try 1, maybe 2 more, and then accept that I didn't really want to do a whole lot. same number?
Same number. So I'm sitting here like, alright, that one sounds pretty damn good.
So if you ever question how accurate these dynos are, it just makes exactly the same number every time. Let's look at the log and see if there's any need to try something else. Ow! Alright, I refuse to let it defeat me. I probably spent twice as much time on that as I should have, but we made a little bit more horsepower. Was it worth it? Absolutely not, but it was fun. So now we're all smarter.